We're playing Phantom Blaster Dragon, the worst deck in the game. It doesn't do a whole lot other than neg itself to do the same thing other decks do. Okay, I built this deck because, once again, nobody else is going to build it, so I have to be the hero to come and save this trash deck. Alright, that's what's happening. I built my deck around trying to make PBD as least garbage as possible, and by playing the most amount of cards that call things to the board. There are cards that want to be retired, essentially, and then cards that you want to call to get more cards. Those would be Macha gets you access to more cards, Charon gets you access to more cards, and then cards that you want to have on field to retire, things like Brunner. Alright, so for grade 1s, we've got 4 Charon, 4 Brunner. Obviously, you have to run these in PBD. Brunner is a must because it is the only card that counts as 2 rear guards. It's great. Makes you neg a lot less. Charon, just on call, gets you another card, so gives you 2 for PBD. You have to run it. And then for the grade 2s, we only have 4 Macha. A lot of people also run Blaster Dark in their deck because it does synergize with the deck decently and you do get a retire. But it also costs a Counterblast and it doesn't really call anything to the board, so that's why I don't run it. Macha's insane because she can get you to Brunner. That's literally why. And then for the grade 3s, we just play 3 Phantom Blaster Dragon, obviously, because Persona Rides are crazy. 4 Fosado because it's the best unit in Keter. And then we're playing 4 Alden, 3 Rafluke. I wish I had enough space for a 4th Rafluke so that way we could have more consistency on Alden, but literally there's just no space. I mean, what else are we going to take out of Macha? It's too important. Like, we need to call cards off of it. What cards should you put back? Probably anything that doesn't help you call cards or, you know, Brunner. So generally speaking, just like Alden, Rafluke. That's probably it, honestly. Triggers, of course, but you want to see pretty much everything else in your deck. I'm trying to keep Brunners, Charons, and Machas pretty much exclusively. I guess Verena, theoretically, we can retire Overdress units, so that's good. But they also just attack us more and deal more damage, and, you know, all the PBD does not have much. I can't really think of anything else. Like PBD just gets stomped by everything. I don't know. Basically, PBD, you're not gonna win early game. You don't make enough numbers. You don't have crits on rear guards. You just don't. If you can get lucky enough to get a Vanguard swing in with a crit, and then theoretically you can rush your opponent down after that. But most of the time you're going for the long con with PBD, which sucks because PBD doesn't live versus a lot of meta decks big turns. It wants to play grindy without really any tools to live that long. It's very sad. So power, I'm going to have to go ahead and put it at a 0 because this deck doesn't hit numbers other than PBD. So PBD is the only thing that gains anything, and it's just 10k and a crit, which is just going to get perfect guarded anyway. So yeah, power is definitely going to be at a 0. For control, I would go ahead and put it at a 3 because it is the one thing this deck can sort of do, which is retire 2 every turn, but you have to neg yourself 3, so, you know, have fun doing that. Yeah, so you do have a little bit of control. Consistency-wise, I'm going to go ahead and put it at a 1 to 2. We are basically playing half of 2 decks in one, half Bastion, half PBD. So if you see all your PBD cards, then you can do your PBD things and it's cool. But if you just see Fosado, Alden, and Rafluke, then what are you doing other than playing budget Bastion? So consistency, I'm gonna go ahead and put it at 1 to 2. Versatility, also put it at a 1 because you don't do anything other than retire your opponent's rear guards. I mean, literally, what else do you do? A value, I would put it at a 3 because or 2 to 3, because yes, you are negging yourself a lot, but the deck does have resources to try and call a bunch of cards for free. So at least it has that going for it, right? As bad as negging 3 per turn is, this deck is actually somehow worse than Eugene. I don't know how it does it, but I was reading Eugene earlier and I thought to myself, how is this card worse than PBD? It's not. It's better. Eugene is better. Oh yeah, well, I mean, okay, if we're comparing it to PBD, I mean, first we gotta look at PBD, right? What does it do? It fucking negs 3, counterblast 1 to, dude, have you read Flagberg? On their 4th attack, they do the same thing for free. I don't know what to do with this deck, man, but I mean, hey, it's pretty garbage, but we're making the most of it, right?